So I came here in 2010, and when I came here in 2010, I'd never seen a Maori person before, like ever in life. And then when I was on the plane, I was coming over here, I saw all these brown people on the plane, I was like, is this like a pilgrimage? This is amazing. And then I came over here, Samoans and Maori and everything else in between. But so I've been married to a Maori girl we got married 7 years ago. So when I first came here, I came here to be with her. And like the first 3 weeks I was here, we were having drinks in my brother-in-law's house. I'd only met him like 3 times. And so I walked into his house, it was like 8 o'clock at night, the rugby game was about to start. And the lights were off and the TV, he has a big TV, so the big TV was on. And I walked in the door, I was like, oh, hey, everybody. He's like, oh, hey, Keyur. And he was like, and James walks through the door, he's like, hey, James, the game's gonna be on. He's like, oh, God! And this was before I'd seen anything of it. I was like, what the fuck did I just walk into? I was like, this guy is New Wayne, but I was like, man, he's serious. I was like, this, no matter what, it looks like a fight dance. Like, even if you don't know what it is, it looks like I'm about to start, so I'm about to round shit up. We were the only 2 people in the room. And I was like, oh fuck. And so then my brother-in-law said, he's like, oh, hey, Keyur. Hey. I was like, oh, hey, James. I was like, hey, you got a drink or anything? You're all right? He's like, oh, I'll get one later. And then he was like, oh, we got some piss. Okay, so in America, beer is called beer and brewskis. Over here, when you want to have a drink with a friend, when you want to get on the piss boat? No, it's not that. So he said, hey, bro, you want some piss? I was like, no, man, I'm sweet. He's like, no, man, we got a fridge outside full of piss. I was like, okay, that just opened up a whole box of questions. I was like, who the fuck puts piss in the fridge? I was like, 2, and we've only met like 3 times. So what makes you comfortable enough with me to offer me some piss? And I was like, and vice versa. Why would someone accept the offer of piss from somebody else? I was like, that's nuts. And then I was like, or is it just the way things are done in New Zealand? I was like, I have no clue. And then like I was thinking, like, I went all the way down. You know how they say, like, don't go down the rabbit hole? I went deep. and so like it was like my brother-in-law, he was like, oh, so like what if he offers piss? But I was like, what if he doesn't piss enough to have piss on the weekend? I was like, does he top up his piss with other people's piss? I was like, don't put your piss in the toilet, put it in the fridge. And then I was like, he's like, and then he takes his wife's piss and he's like, I had to top mine up. He's like, stop stealing my piss, James. Go to the store. You can get piss there. I was like, fuck, you can get piss at the store? Fuck, New Zealand is weird. And then so like the lingo, right? So my wife, so we've been together like 6 months. And so she told me, she's like, oh, we haven't been there in ages. I was like, baby, what the fuck is ages? And she's like, oh, age. I was like, she's like, you're kidding me. I was like, baby, I wouldn't ask if I didn't know. She's like, oh, ages means like a long time ago. So in my head, I had 6 months or longer, okay? 6 months or longer. And so I was like, okay. A couple of days later, she asked me for a cup of coffee. I made her a cup of coffee, because I'm a good husband. But I made her, and then half an hour later, she asked me, she's like, hey, baby, can I have a cup of coffee? And I was like, baby, I just made one. She's like, that was ages ago. I was like, what the fuck is ages? And like, the lingo again, right? So there's a lot of different things. Oh, hang on, sorry. It's on my piece of paper. These are jokes I just made up right now. And it's, okay, so we were having drinks so it was like a get-together at my house, right? I've been here for like 4 weeks, and she wanted to get together to introduce me to all of her family. By the way, my wife's Maori, so they all love to drink. She told me. So I wanted to impress them all, right? I bought all top shelf alcohol. Like blue Curacao, Midori, triple still vodka, like everything was in line. She's like, all these, yeah, all right, vodka lover, all right. And then I was like, everyone walked in, they said, man, this looks like a bar. I was like, yeah, buddy. And so I was like, I want her, all right. And so I started mixing drinks about a half an hour, and then I left it alone because I was bartending back in America. And then I started talking with her cousins, a couple of girl cousins. I was like, hey, how you doing? You all right? She's like, sweet ass Keyur. And I was like, thank you so much. I was like, this makes me feel so good. I was like, man, I have been working out though. I have been working out. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then someone else called her, so she walked off. And then I was talking to another girl cousin. She was like, I was like, hey, you got a drink, you all right? She's like, oh, sweet ass Keyur. I was like, yes! I was like, this is the second time this party. I was like, man, these workouts are going awesome. I'm going to work this out all the time. And then I was like, and then so I went in the bathroom. I was kicking my own ass. I was like, hey, this is a pretty sweet ass. I was like, so it's all good. And then I went outside. I was talking to my brother-in-law, and I was like, hey, James, you got a drink, you all right? He's like, oh, sweet ass, my bro. And I was like, thank you. And I was like, okay, where's my girlfriend? And I found her, and I was like, baby, can you please come in the room with me? I just gotta ask you a question. I was like, please, it's serious. And she's like, baby, I'm talking to my cousins. I haven't seen them in a long time. She's like, baby, please. She's like, baby, please, just 2 minutes. I need to ask you a question. She came in the room. I was like, baby, is your brother-in-law gay by chance? She's like, I hope not. He has a wife and 2 kids. Why? And I was like, because he just told me I had a sweet ass. And she was like, well, what did you say? I was like, thank you. She's like, no, not after, before. And I was like, I just asked when you had a drink. She started laughing. And I was like, baby, this is some serious shit. I was like, your brother may be gay. Does his wife know? Do his kids? I was like, I'm worried. And she was like, no, he wasn't saying you have a sweet ass. He was saying sweet ass is the same here. And he's like, all good. I understand. I got it. I was like, oh, fucking hell, okay. Whew. I was like, I have nothing against gays. I was like, I have nothing against gay people. But, I mean, I just wasn't expecting it. And then so, like, me and my wife, right? So, my wife works a very professional person. So, she works in public health, she's a very professional person. I'm fly by the wind, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? I'll talk to you too. And she's like, baby, listen, we're going to a party tonight. You hold my hand the entire night. You gotta just hold my hand, you can't move. She's like, you can talk to people, but keep it minimal. I was like, baby, I gotta live and be free. And she was like, not tonight, you aren't. And so she's walking me around. I was like, baby, she's like, no, stay here. I was like, awesome, great. And so this joke, I just came. If you could help me with this, I'd appreciate it. It's a knock-knock joke. Okay, so I'm gonna say Mike. Okay, M-I-P-E, Mike. Okay, knock knock. Eat Mike. Oh God, I'm sorry. If you don't like that one, I got nothing for you. Oh man, I didn't think that'd work. Honestly, I'm impressed with myself. And so I heard. So my daughter. So my wife meant to ask. Have you ever heard that joke? What did one Maori statue say to another Maori statue? Yeah, statue broke. Right? That's a pretty good one. But my wife messed up on the question, and she said, what did one statue say to another statue? My 5-year-old daughter, she's like, I'm hard? I was like, what? I was like, she's got my bones in her body. I was like, she's got me.